First of all, my name is Naman, and so I'm currently placed at Fractal Analytics. So they offer consulting services to various organizations. So whether it is like consumer company or a retail company, but after a few years, you'll have to stick to one particular field and excel in that. For example, there are many fields like Tableau engineer and data scientist, consultant, coding test. And during the PPT round, the students cleared out that the coding test was not a mandate for the selection process.
So hi everyone, welcome again to Upskill Talks. So we are in the middle of series wherein we, on your request, have brought in a lot of your seniors where they share their journeys and how did they land into their dream profiles and dream companies. So for today's session, we have Naman amongst us. So Naman is currently placed at Fractal Analytics and is also pursuing the position of subject matter expert here at Upskill Talks. So hi Naman, how are you?
I'm good, Ajit. How are you?
So we are delighted to hear your story today. It would be nice that if you can just introduce yourself to our audience and to me as well, so that we can, move in the direction forward from there on.
All right. So, telling a bit about myself. First of all, my name is Naman, and so I'm currently placed at Fractal Analytics, as you said. So, I'm pursuing automobile engineering from DTU. Telling a bit about the engineering journey. During the first and second years, I was doing more of mechanical projects. So, I was a part of a technical team, Team Raftar, where I was handling the design department. And apart from that, I was the technical chairperson of Society of Automotive Engineers. So, but I always like to explore different fields. So I also joined the DTU like consulting society, 180 degrees consulting society, where I did various consulting projects. So that helped me to gain some exposure in that field. And telling about the interns, I have done 3, 4 interns. So out of that, I have interned at Premium Transmission. That was a technical core intern, and also I have interned at FMS Delhi. So that's a bit about my experience. So yeah.
So perfect, Naman. By what you have told me, I can gather the thoughts that you have a diverse experience in all of these streams. Let it be technical, mechanical engineering, consulting, and now you are placed at an analytics firm. So I think we will be discovering a lot more about yourself. You hold a lot of experience carrying in your bag. So yeah, sure. Now we can, I think, move ahead with the presentation, and you can let our viewers know more about the Fractal Analytics as a company. So yeah, please tell us about what actually Fractal does, and what is the profile offered to you. The placement procedure. Let it be listing at DTU or and till the date you got your final selection. So what was the process? What all things were going at the back of your mind? How did you pursue those things? So yeah, it would be nice that if you can structure your thoughts in similar way.
All right. So Fractal Analytics is basically a consulting firm. So they offer consulting services to various organizations. So whether it is like consumer company or a retail company or any other firm related to healthcare or other firms, so they provide consulting services to them. And for the consulting services, they use like analytics techniques and as well as the growing artificial intelligence techniques. So actually, the Fractal company is masters in the AI domain. So they involve a lot of technical work, and using that data analysis and technical knowledge, they provide the consulting services and decision making to the other firms. So that's a bit about the overview of the company role. And about the profile that I have been offered, so I have been offered the position of Imagineer. So basically, they didn't tell much about the profile in their GD, but moreover, what I have gathered throughout is that during the first few years, we'll be working on different projects that will be involving a lot of knowledge on different domains. But after a few years, you'll have to stick to one particular field and excel in that. For example, there are many fields like Tableau engineer and data scientist, consultant, lot of fields. So you will get a lot of exposure in all the fields during the first few years. So that's about
Perfect,
the.
perfect, Naman. So we are excited and congratulations to you on cracking your journey into Fractal.
Thank
Now,
you,
can
Arjun.
you tell us more about the placement procedure and how did you go through all of the rounds that were asked, and what all sort of things were going at the back of your mind? It is a time of pressure. Like
Mhm.
I have spoken to a lot of viewers regarding this, so they tell me that they are worried about how they are prepared well according to them, but they have fear of interviews. So you can also tell us how they can overcome about that.
So first of all, I would like to answer the last question of yours, that how to handle the fear. So basically, if you have prepared well and your resume is up to the mark, so just believe in what you have done and revise that again and again. So I think that will be enough, and you'll excel in all the interviews that you'll appear for. So that's about the fear part. And telling about the process, so Fractal Analytics was one of the first non-tech firms visiting the campus. So it came to the campus during the first month only, I guess. And as I said, that they were hiring for the position of an Imagineer. So the process consisted of firstly the pre-placement talk. So in the pre-placement talk, like they were telling about the company and the role of the company and various things that they do in the company, and also what will be your role as a joiner in the company. So in the first few years, what you will be doing as an Imagineer. So that and also the process of the interviews. So all these things were told in the PPT, and then there was an aptitude test. So the aptitude test was taken and was having 4 rounds. Four parts. So there was a quant part and verbal ability. So all these things are usually prepared by the students when they prepare for the aptitude test. So it was similar to the other companies. And then there was a coding test. And during the PPT round, the students cleared out that the coding test was not a mandate for the selection process. Like you have to appear for the coding test, but your selection criteria won't be on that basis. They will just judge that how many people know the coding. So there were some questions related to the SQL and the basic Python knowledge. So that was about the coding test. And then there were the 3 rounds of interviews. So the first round was the problem solving round. So in that they mainly asked about some of the students were asked about the guesstimates. I went through 2 interviews only. So some students went to 3 interviews, but I personally went to only 2 interviews. So business understanding round and the HR round. So during the business understanding round, I was asked a case study, and the case study was about one of my projects. So I did a project related to business project basically. So they framed a case study around that, and then there was a HR round, so basic HR questions in that. So that was the whole process that I went through.
Sure, Naman. Do you remember, any sort of questions or something like that that can give our viewers an extended knowledge about the Fractal as a company? So, it would be nice if you can, just recall some of the questions if you remember any. So, or you can talk about that. What actually you think that the interviewer was trying to figure out when he took your interview? So, what were the skills that he was trying to identify? That if you have a check mark on that, and then he can move ahead, go a green signal to you.
Mhm. So basically, in the business understanding round, that was mainly to check the technical aspects and how you are fit for the company. So in that round, they mainly focused on your projects and your business understanding. So in my interview round, so basically, as I said, that I did a business project. So my whole interview was around that project only. So the point here is, if you are doing any project and you're mentioning that on your resume, so make sure that you remember that well and you know it in and out. So they'll ask a lot of questions based on that. So if you are mentioning any project, so make sure that you are doing that with a lot of confidence. So that's one point. And some of the questions that were asked, like other than the project, was like, why do you want to join the company, and why analytics field, being a engineering background. So that was some of the questions in the understanding round. And in the HR round, there were some basic questions asked related to like my personality. What kind of personality do you have with your friends? And how many interns did you do? And what kind of feedback did you get in your interns? So some basic questions around your resume.
Perfect, Naman. I got the sense of it. I also have a follow-up question over here. So, a lot of people watching this video might have this doubt for the fractal analytics that they have in mind, that data science or the machine learning core things are specific, or they need to have those on their plate to apply on, or get selected for the fractal analytics domain. So if you can share some of your experiences of the peers that who got selected, so it would be much better to answer this question.
Yes, so actually, I asked some of my peers also, like, what were the questions asked during the interviews. So, if you have done some of the data science projects, so your interviewer will ask about that, and you should know at least the basic of the data science skills, like what is the statistics, some of the basic statistics rules, and basic ML algorithms, if you have done that. And if not, then that is not the mandate. Whatever you have done in your whole engineering time, so you have to do that in a lot of a sincere manner, so that you can explain that in the interview. So according to me, that data science knowledge is not a mandate, because they'll teach you when you join the company. There is a training period, but if you have done that, so that will be an edge over the other students, and you should know the basic at least of the projects that you have done.
Okay, perfect, Naman. Thank you for this part. Now, we can now move ahead with the session and discuss about the placement strategies, or the pre-placement prep that you went through. Because as per my understanding, you were involved in a lot of roles, let it be technical or consulting, or now the analytics field. So my first question is that how did you figure out that this particular role is a perfect opportunity for you when you were applying for the company? So you would have thought some of the things that I want to pursue my career in this field only, not technical, not consulting. Let's go with analytics now. So what was your thought process? Because a lot of viewers might be going through the similar process, that they have explored a lot of fields but are not able to make a decision now. So what is your advice to them on this time?
Mhm. So first of all, I think it's okay to be confused at this point of time, because we all were at that stage. So I also was involved in a lot of things, like whether it's mechanical, whether it's coding, or data science, analytics field, or even consulting. So it is very hard to decide which field to pursue. But think about whatever projects you have done in the fields that you're thinking to enter. So, like, what are you liking, and which interests you the most? So that is one point. And second is, like, what I think was that I saw different companies and their career growth, and also the packages they are offering, the number of companies visiting the campus, and where my interest lies. So there are a lot of factors that are involved in the decision making. So you can think about all these things, and then make a proper decision of which field you have to enter. Don't just make a random decision based on what your peers say, that this field is good to go. So don't make a decision based on that. Just do a prior uh, proper research, and then make a proper decision to which field you want to enter.
Perfect, Naman. Also, to this, I would like to add a point that try to think that whatsoever field you're trying to pursue, or planning to pursue. So let's say on any particular X day, you wake up in the morning, and you won't be tense that I have to do the same work again. So if you like doing that work, I think you are good to go in that position. Now let's not steal the limelight from you, and you can tell us about your placement strategy. How did you went after it? In the first year, second year, third year, how you made up your mind that yes, I'm going to prepare well. Also on the aptitude test, aptitude part, what all things did you try to cover before the placement season began?
All right. So, to telling in detail, during the first year, I was, purely into the technical field. I was also planning to do a master's in the like automotive field. So I joined the technical society the team Raftar, and doing a designing work there. So I learned various designing softwares. But in the second year, again, I was confused. So what to continue, because I wasn't exactly sure that I want to pursue the automotive field. So I did a intern at Premium Transmission. That was a core intern. So that gave me a pretty much ideas that this is not something that I would like to pursue during the like after graduation. So I explored the other fields. So I did a coding, like I did various coding courses about data science and the statistics. So that gave me a pretty much good idea of what this field is about, and how to do the projects, and what is something that is involved in the company work when you after graduation. So I think this was something that I was interested in. So that's why I pursued that. And also side by side, I joined the 180 Degrees Consulting Society. So I liked problem solving, so that's why I joined that society, and that also helped me a lot to gain some experience. So overall, like these are the things that helped me to prepare well. So I was doing various interns and projects. So at the end, I just remembered all the points from the different experiences that I have, and formed a proper resume. And about the preparation for the placement, I was doing a coaching from time, so that helped me to prepare for the aptitude test. And apart from that, I was also having one-on-one sessions, interview sessions with my peers for the interviews. So that also gave me a lot of confidence, because I know at this point of time a lot of you are not very well during in the communication part. So it is just that you can prepare the questions well in advance, so that you can answer in the with the confidence during the interviews. So that's my like preparation strategy.
Sure, Naman. I think now we can move ahead, and you can let our viewers know that how can they go about preparation strategies, especially if the person who is watching this video is in first year, second year, third year. So
Mhm.
can you tell us more about in depth that if the person is any particular year, so what is the timeline that you should go ahead with, plan things according to whatsoever lies ahead of it. So probably you're a better person to answer this question. So I will give the stage to you.
All right. So during the first and second years, I don't think that it is the perfect time to start preparing for the interviews. So probably what you can do during these years is that this is very initial stage. So you can explore a lot of things, and there is no particular like fixed pathway to go ahead in the engineering. So what you can do is take part in different societies, do various interns, so that you get various exposure, different exposure, and finally you can choose one path to continue. And during the third year, you can do some good interns in the particular field that you want to enter, and move ahead with. You can start preparing for the aptitude slowly, because I think during the placement session, aptitude is one major point of selection. A lot of students are shortlisted based on that. So make sure that you prepare well in the aptitude section. And also, if you want to enter specifically the analytics field, like try to learn some basic coding skills like the basic SQL queries and the Python, etc. It is not a mandate for these companies, but it is good to have. So because you will find it easier when you enter the firm to work on different projects. You won't have to give much time to the preparation after that. So that is something you can do. Also make a well-rounded CV. So it's good to have a diverse resume where you have done some technical part, because to justify that you are an engineering student, and also the non-technical part where you want to enter the field. So that's about the preparation strategy.
Okay. Naman, I will just try to pick up one or two more questions before we wrap up the session. So, I remember
Hmm.
that, you were saying in the previous slide that, you should revise all these things that you have written in your CV.
Hmm.
How important is this, before appearing for any particular company's interview, or, just having the knowledge about what actually company does and doing the company research? How important, according to you, is this particular problem? And I see a lot of people, going blank into the interview, not knowing much about the company. So does this have a really bad impact? And matlab, what are your views on this?
I think to answer your last question, that it do create a bad impact if you don't know about the company you are interviewing for, because they are investing a lot of time taking your interviews. So make sure you are well read about the company, the profile it's offering, and the role the company has for you. So do make sure you have a good answer to that. And also, I think the HR questions are basic and are asked repeatedly in every interviews. So you can prepare some answers for that and a storyline for these questions, so that you don't get blank in the interviews, as you said. So you can prepare well for the interviews by revising the projects that you have done, and making a proper storyline for that, because some of the projects that you have done is will be in the first and second year, so you won't remember that at the later stage. So revise that again and again, and in depth, because they can ask anything from your project that you have done. So my whole interview of 15 minutes was on one single project, so that means you have to be really good with that. So that's about the preparation part for the interview specifically.
Okay. Now, so what I got out of your answer was that, your interview, as you mentioned, was, you have to be thorough what you have written, so you cannot
Mhm.
be blunt when you go to the interview. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
So fine. So I think that was all for this session. Any last advice that you would like to provide to the viewers who are watching this video?
Yeah, so one advice is that I know that you all will be quite stressed with the interview preparation, but I think just the basic preparation and revising all the things that you have done throughout will be enough. Don't stress a lot. A lot of companies visit the different campuses, so make sure that you also enjoy the time that you have, because after joining a company, you have to give a lot of time to the company. So just prepare well, focus on that, and also enjoy the rest of the time that you have. So that's
Okay, sure, Naman. That was, I think, a very valuable one. So yeah, I think we can end this session now. So for lastly, congratulations to you once again on grabbing offers from Fractal Analytics, and
thank
thank
you,
you very
Ajit.
much for coming and giving us your journey, and look into your journey. How did you go about? So thank you very much for Naman for the session today.
Yes, thank you, Ajit. And I think this is a great platform where everybody can learn from others' experience, take the advices from their seniors, so that they can go ahead with their careers they want to, and excel in that.
Sure, Naman. Thank you very much. Bye
Hmm.
bye. Have a
Thank
nice
you.
day.
Bye.